Welcome back again. Let's now look at another interesting feature of dealing with the hex editor. So if we go to view again, and this time we go to the line width. If you go, like, as you can see here currently, each line is actually 16 bytes. So each line, by the way, here, these represent 16 bytes. And we can easily see them from the 00, 10, 20, 30, 40. And these are actually in hex, as you can see the H. That's because they are in hex. But let's go and let's say change that, for example, to 8 bytes. So now you can see we are looking at each line with 8 bytes. So you can see 0, 8, 10, 18, 20, 28, 30, 38, 40, 48, 50, 58, 60, etc. And that's why, because we are looking at them in hex. Let's increase maybe the lines back again. So this is the default, by the way. And let's look at another thing, which is the addresses. So the addresses over here are in hex, but if you wanted to view them, let's say in decimal, so you can do that. So you can see that this is the address 0, this is 16, this is 32, etc. So these are now in decimal and not in hex. Now another thing to keep in mind is when you click over here, by the way, the address can also be seen here in the position. So we can see here down in the lower right, and this in this like task bar, or like in this taskbar, or I don't think it's even a taskbar, but not sure what this type of bar is called. But you can see that this is position 0, while if we click here, we can see now that this is position 16, and between the brackets, or between these between the brackets, it's 10H, because that's what 16 is in hexadecimal. If we go to the other one, we can see that this is 32. And if we go to the other one, we can see that this is 48, and so on and so forth. I'm going to talk a little bit in later about positions and something called offset, relative offset. All of that is going to be covered. But for now, I just wanted to show you that first we can change the line width. We can now change the addresses. We can even move them to octal. This is what octal will look like. And so make sure you change them to something that is really more easier for you to understand. You can see here, this is decimal. So you can see that each line is just 1, 2, 3. See, line number. Over here, oh, okay. Over here, it was a byte number. So that's why we saw the count based on the bytes. Here, we are just counting, by the way, lines. So that's why we see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. While when we go back and say I want the byte number in decimal, you see that these are now counting bytes and not lines. Okay, but at the end, all of these positions will remain the same, as you can see, regardless what type of view you are in. So if we go back to hex again, this one is position 0, this one is position 16, position 32, 48, and then 64, and then 80 in decimal, or 50 in hexadecimal. Okay, so that's it for this video. We'll continue to work with the hex editor in the other video. Thank you.